The Richmond Kickers glad to be home in Richmond, Virginia. After a heartbreaking loss to Louisville FC, the Kickers return tonight to City Stadium to clash with Toronto FC2. Hi everybody, John Emmett along with former kicker Ross McKenzie. Tonight the Kickers and Toronto, two teams looking for momentum. The Kickers off a tough loss on the road, trying to continue a two-match home unbeaten string. Meanwhile, Toronto FC finally picked up a standings point last Wednesday, but the Reds struggling to score goals. They have no goal scorers in the 18 tonight, Ross. It's going to be a challenge for the visitors.
Yeah, absolutely. They got a very young squad, young team, so a lot of good players, just maybe not turning those into goals yet.
And we're talking about young players. Sean Hundahl, 18 years old, really kind of the avatar of this group. He'll play the central striker tonight. He has struggled to find the net thus far, but at age 18, he is in his third season with Toronto FC. He has 13 career goals, a couple of great chances in their scoreless draw last week with NCFC.
Yep, as you can see, they've got quite a few teenagers in the squad, so again, lots of good players. I think he had 6-7 goals last year, so he'll be a one to watch for Toronto tonight.
Meanwhile, for the Kickers, the long-awaited arrival of Dane Kelly. He was assigned to Richmond amidst much fanfare in mid-March, but never did show up. He was called up to his Jamaican national side, then wound up in the DC United 18. He even got a little run with United against Columbus. Now he comes down to Richmond for a team that's still, other than Brian Shriver, looking for offensive output.
Yeah, great addition. He's a proven goal scorer in this league, so nice to have a guy like that you can bring in, and hopefully he bags a couple tonight.
Dane Kelly with 18 goals last season for Reno 1868. For Toronto, it's a stable group in the back four. Two changes in their lineup tonight from their scoreless draw with NCFC. Malik Johnson and Stephen Yates into the lineup in the midfield. That's due in part to their CONCACAF first team schedule and their game tonight with Chivas in the CONCACAF Champions League final. Up top, it's Hundahl and a very busy Aiden Daniels, who was in the 18 and got some run with Toronto FC's first team Saturday as they had some call-ups to kind of ease their lineup congestion. Cavalluzzo between the sticks, starting for the fourth time in 5 games. For Richmond, Kelly, the big news in the starting lineup, but maybe the best news is it's a back four actually playing natural positions. They're getting a little healthier finally.
Yeah, getting over a few injuries at the back, so it's nice to have an experienced kind of settled back four playing in their natural positions to give you a little bit of balance back there.
And Brian Shriver on the midfield has had a part in all 5 Kickers goals thus far this season. So tonight the Kickers tangle with Toronto FC2. Richmond is 1-3-1, trying to bounce back off a tough stoppage time loss to Louisville. Toronto FC2 looking for their first win of this season. They are at 0-3-1, but coming off a scoreless draw their last time out. USL Soccer is next on ESPN+.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches, and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
She works as a meteorologist at CBS 6, but Nikki D. Ray does all kinds of jobs. Roll call.
I'm Nikki D., the construction worker. I'm Nikki D., the insurance agent. I'm Nikki D., the doctor. I'm Nikki D., the fast food cook. I'm Nikki D., the referee. I'm Nikki D., the teacher. I'm Nikki D., the beekeeper. I'm Nikki D., the race car driver.
Nikki D., Can You Be Me? On CBS 6 this morning.
And we are back at City Stadium. John Emmett along with Ross McKenzie. Richmond Kickers getting set to battle Toronto FC2. Kickers looking for their second win of the season. Toronto picked up their first standings point a week ago tonight. Now they look for a goal. They've scored only 1 in 4 games thus far this season, and their first win of the campaign. Marcos de Oliveira is the referee tonight. J.C. Griggs, Nick Rod Fate are the assistants. Robert Velbis is the 4th official. Kickers are in the home white. The Red Army is just about set. And the two teams getting set for USL soccer here tonight on an evening. The weather, Ross, could best be described, I think, as undecided.
Yeah, I've had my jacket on and off about 4 times already.
The sun's been trying to fight through the clouds, but the rain we've had last 36 hours or so for the most part has gone. And the pitch has stood up pretty well. Should be a pretty decent field here at City Stadium tonight for the first 7 o'clock start of the campaign. Travis Wara in frame for the Kickers tonight. He's been busy since the Kickers last played.
Yeah, getting married. Congratulations to him.
Also spent a match as a backup with the DC United, so he's had a crowded itinerary. Meanwhile, Angelo Cavalluzzo in goal for Toronto FC2. He is the senior member of this lineup, a 25-year-old who came through the TFC Academy, as did the majority of this club. Toronto will kick it off to get us started. Aiden Daniels will touch the ball first. The Ajax, Ontario native is a player with some Canadian national team experience at the junior level. And we are underway at City Stadium. Kyle Bjornathan played it up the sideline for Daniels, and it winds up out of play for a kicker's throw. Shinovsky wears the armband for Richmond. Mikael Williams in the kickers lineup for the second straight game after an extended call-up with Trinidad and Tobago. Oscar Umar back from injury tonight. Gonzalez gets a touch for Troyer, pushing up. Kelly getting his first kicker's touch. And Williams will reshape.
Nice positive start for Richmond, getting some early possession.
Toronto hasn't had a lot of possession. They've been under 50% in all of their matches thus far. That ball sent out of play by Brandon Onconi, a native of Switzerland. Umar scored the kicker's first goal this season. Bjornathan broke that up. And then a foul whistled as Daniels was trying to counter, and it's a free kick for Richmond.
Free kick for Richmond.
Just underway, City Stadium. We are scoreless. Uday Amura scored from the spot a couple of weeks ago here against North Carolina Football Club, and the Kickers' only win this season. Williams probing for Gonzalez. That winds up a goal kick.
That's a good idea. Good ball in behind, just Raul couldn't control it. Yep, good diagonal ball just coming over Raul's shoulder. He couldn't quite get it under control, but that's a good look from Mikael.
Shinovsky with the header off the restart. Decent touch for Wyja. And that's off Shriver. Onconi will take the throw for Toronto FC2. Wyja back for Onconi. And that's a Richmond throw. Austin Yearwood, Charlotte native who played for the Independents before joining the Kickers. Shinovsky pressured a bit by Sean Hundal.
Looks like Toronto are quite happy just to sit off and let the kickers have the ball in their own half here, so just have to be patient, keep the ball moving quickly.
Toronto with a 4-3-3, but very tight one. They played a lot of that last week at home. Coney got ahead to that. Now Imura looking for Kelly in the through ball, but a little too far. 3.5 minutes in, no score. Robert Boskovic. Daniels in pursuit with Troyer, who escorts it out for a throw. Imura with some space as Toronto really is sitting back. It looks like a 4-5-1 right now.
Yep, 4-5-1. It's important that Kobe tries to find that space in between the back four and the midfield.
Imura chasing the deflection out for Richmond. Got to it before it rolled out. Miguel Williams. Gonzalez. Umar. Now Udai Imura with some room. Probing for Gonzalez. That's swept away by Robert Boskovic. Shinovsky for Umar. Now Williams. Umar. Looking for Gonzalez. Boskovic got ahead to it. And Gonzalez pass picked off by Stephen Yates. Umar deflected it out for a Toronto throw. This TFC team profiles chronologically a lot like New York Red Bulls too, but they play a considerably less aggressive style.
Yeah, very young, inexperienced team. This is kind of in contrast to the kickers, who have a lot of experienced guys who've been in this league for a long time. So,
Austin Yearwood. Kickers have had virtually all of the possession in the first 5.5 minutes. Braden Troyer. Osewusu, the rookie out of George Washington. Had a fantastic camp, scored 3 goals, and kind of bludgeoned his way out of the roster.
yeah, definitely scored some goals in preseason, but I don't think that's where Lee wants him picking up the ball at the halfway line there. He's more of a attacking player, should be closer to Dane Kelly.
Now Malik Johnson trying to get it going for Toronto. Their first possession offensively is broken up by Osewusu. Six and a half minutes in. Toronto has gone more than 280 minutes between goals. They scored in a 2-1 loss in their opener. They have not scored since. Brian Shriver. Oh, looking for Gonzalez, who got a piece but was cut off by Bjornthen, and Cavaluso out to restore order.
I think that's what Leo wants to see. Brian Shriver getting on the ball and driving it players at speed, creating chances.
He has been the catalyst of all 5 kickers' goals.
Yep, great little through ball there. Just a little unfortunate. Raul couldn't get it quite under control.
Now Williams for Richmond. Yearwood. Oscar Umar. Probing for Troyer. And Bjornthen, a Seattle area native who came over from Portland Timbers USL entry. And Gonzalez played it in, but Cavaluso right there. Rocco Romeo. Gobbled up by Shinosky. Romeo, a Toronto area product. Most of this team is Canadian. Many from Toronto or the nearby suburbs. And nearly all of them products of Toronto FC's academy program. Mikael Williams. Good giveaway there. Johnson trying to take advantage around Imura. Johnson with the service. Oh, an opportunity buried by Aiden Daniels, and Toronto strikes first.
When you have possession for long spells and you have the team on the back foot, you can't give the ball away in bad areas. That's exactly what Toronto are set up to do. Win the ball on a turnover, and they've got a couple of quick guys out wide. That's playing right into their hands.
And Aiden Daniels opens the scoring off the service from Johnson.
Good first touch, good finish. But again, sloppy in possession at the halfway line.
Aiden Daniels' second professional goal. He has a little bit of Major League Soccer experience last weekend, actually. The Toronto FC has their first lead of the season. 9th minute goal for Daniels, his first in the USL in 2018.
Good week for him. MLS debut and a goal at City Stadium.
Yearwood battling with Onconi.
Credit the assist to number 64, Sean.
And it winds up a Richmond throw.
Number 55, Daniels with the goal for Toronto in the 9th minute.
Going to give it
Toronto
Hundal the
FC
assist
1,
for that little
Richmond,
touch
nothing.
just before the Daniels shot. Hundal wrestling with a kicker's defender got a piece of that, so he gets the assist rather than Johnson, who served it in.
That's a very dubious assist, that one.
Umar for Gonzalez. And now Dane Kelly for Imura, who levels the match.
Perfect response from the kickers there.
Uday Imura, his second of the year. 16th of his Richmond career. Less than 2 minutes after Daniels opens the scoring, Imura responds and we are level.
Yep, fantastic strike here. Just great body shape, just hits through the ball, hits it hard right into the top corner. Perfect finish. Exactly what you want. When you give up a sloppy goal and go 1-0 down, you want a quick response.
Well, the kickers pull one back. Toronto looking for the response, but ball from Wyja wound up out for a Richmond throw. Well, how damaging is that for this very young Toronto team? They grab a lead, they have momentum, and all of a sudden it's gone.
Yeah, it definitely can be a little bit disheartening. I'm sure they had their tails up a little bit getting the early goal. Obviously, they haven't scored many times so far this season, and it was completely against the run of play. So, you know, you always say you want to, first 5 minutes after you score, the most dangerous times you can concede. So, definitely be a little disheartened by that. So, this is a good time for the kickers to push on and try and get another one.
And the kickers tried to push on, but restart headed forward by Shinosky. Oselusu back for Imura. Now Williams. Shinosky looking for Kelly, headed away by Romeo, and swept by Bosovic back to midfield.
That's what Dane Kelly does. He plays off the shoulder of the centre back, so that ball is on. Just got to time it.
Richmond Kickers 1, Toronto FC 2-1. Brian Shriver. He looks for Gonzalez, but the flag is up.
That was very tight. Great ball by Brian. I thought Raul timed that quite well. I'd like to see that again.
Well, maybe the smoke from the Red Army might obscure the assistant referee's view there.
Could be.
Or camouflage.
They're a wild bunch, that Red Army.
Hundal draws the foul from Shinosky.
Free kick for Toronto.
I think Lee thought that was a bit of a dive there.
You be the judge. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it was a bit soft. A bit soft. If it was on one of his players, he might have wanted it, though.
Now Toronto a throw at midfield. Jonathan will restart. Broken up by Troyer. Osewusu battling with Noble Okello. And that's a Richmond throw. Okello, Toronto native, product of the academy. Brian Shriver. That was broken up by Okello. Williams turns it the other way. Chased down by Ankani, then Yearwood put it out. Malik Johnson.
There's another soft one. Toronto have done a pretty good job of being pretty disciplined when kickers have the ball and holding their shape, not chasing, just keeping their shape and being patient and waiting for the kickers to try and force a pass and then picking it off. That's
Robert Boskovic.
maybe it was a free kick.
Now on Coney. Romeo. Broken up by Yearwood. Kickers in Toronto level, a quarter of an hour in. Shadowski found Gonzalez. Troyer pushing up. Oscar Umar. Osewusu. Broken up by Okello. Now Johnson. Johnson around Yearwood. Okello. Bjornthen pressing up. Pass picked off by Troyer.
Well held up by Dane Kelly there, bringing others into it. That was good hold-up play from them.
And the pass finds Shriver. Yearwood trying to push up. Onkoni gets there first. And here comes Johnson. Malik Johnson tumbled under the challenge from Shriver. This time the plea for a Toronto free kick went unheeded. 17th minute, deadlocked at 1. Again, Toronto sits back in a 4-5-1. Spent a lot of last year playing the exact 3-4-3 that the parent club played. And their first-year head coach, Laurent Guillaume, has a little more tactical flexibility. Umar trying to fight through Okello. Kelly for Gonzalez, now Troyer. Osewusu. Turn through traffic looking for Imura. Waija for Johnson. On Coney. Rocco Romeo. The big center back, only 17. Now Kelly. Imura.
Another good job by Dane Kelly, just holding the ball up there and bringing others into it.
Shadowski back for Williams. Probing for Imura, headed away by Romeo. Waija. Picked off by Umar. Kelly around one. Stood up by Boskovic. Shot blocked by Romeo. Bjornathan trying to clear. Finds Yates.
Yeah, this is exactly what they're looking for, those transition opportunities.
And Toronto pushing numbers forward here. Hundal.
Good defending by Braden.
Stout tackle there from Troyer. And Gonzalez went down under the Bjornathan challenge. And Richmond gets a free kick. 19th minute. Both teams striking early. Goal for Toronto in the 9th minute, Daniels. Then Imura answering less than 2 minutes later with his second of the season. Umar. Williams. Yearwood back for Williams.
I don't think Toronto are going to have above that 50% possession mark again today by the looks of things.
Right now it's about 80-20. And Toronto more than content to kind of sit back. Williams is probing for Troyer.
Again, just got to be a little more patient there. That diagonal ball is going to be on, but that's not going to hurt Toronto. Need to get the center midfielders involved a lot more. Osei-Wusu is the number 10, needs to get on the ball a little bit more.
Udai Imura. Imura, Yearwood, Shriver. Shriver looking for Yearwood, winds up a Richmond throw. Wyja deflected it out. Shriver's service in.
That's a great ball.
Gonzalez got a piece.
Offside again. He did really well with the header to get back across the goal, though. I'd like to see some more bodies in the box there from Richmond.
Select is the official ball of the United Soccer League. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportsamerica.com. Receive free shipping on orders over $50. Yearwood heading forward. Williams got a piece there, then the foul whistle against Shriver as he wrestled with Gideon Wyja, native of Ghana, who's had some time with the Ghanaian senior national squad.
Yeah, Brian definitely just a little out of position there, not in a position to challenge for that.
Kelly probing there for Shriver, but it winds up a Toronto throw in the 22nd minute of a 1-1 tie. Imura headed away by Wyja. Now Johnson and Yearwood scrap. Picked off by Troyer. Gonzalez against Yates. Umar. Gonzalez again. Osei-Wusu. Boskovic with a stout tackle. The well-qualified officials of the Red Army thought it was a foul.
A lot of experts in that crowd over there.
I imagine there's more than a few professional refereeing licenses in that group. Bjornathan chasing that ball as Cavaluzo comes out to play it.
That's a couple of times Osei-Wusu's got the ball on the half turn there and been a little careless in possession. When he gets in between those lines, he needs to connect. Look for Dane Kelly maybe in behind.
Romeo for Bjornathan. Boskovic. Wyja broken up by Yearwood, but right to Hundal. Now Johnson. Wyja with service. That was jammed away by Shinosky. Williams heading it forward.
Now's where they got to go with a little bit of speed here. Get forward with Toronto are a little out of shape.
Osei-Wusu gave it away to Daniels.
Again.
Here comes Daniels. He was stood up by Shinosky, but now Wyja. Johnson, he has some space, and he has a go, and Wara there to deny him.
Good strike, very good save by Travis there.
Bjornathan. Gonzalez got a piece to knock that away.
Yep, hit with a lot of power, relatively straight at him, but he did well to strong hand there to keep it out. Again, these chances are all coming off of Richmond losing the ball in their own half.
Bjornathan will take the throw here for Toronto. 25th minute. Headed out by Troyer. Now Bjornathan's service in. Williams got a head to it, but right to Wyja. On Coney.
A little ambitious.
'21-year-old former FC Montreal player. The Montreal Impact now discontinued USL side. Shinosky.
Again, I think Connor's looking for a little more options from the midfield three, Udai, Oscar, and Christopher, just so he can play that ball into feet rather than having to go backwards again.
Williams found Kelly for Osei-Wusu, and he draws a foul.
Much better there. Receiving it on the half turn, driving at the back four.
Toby Osei-Wusu out of Bowie, Maryland. He's taking advantage of some of Richmond's lack of lineup depth early in the season to get a lot of minutes right away. Gonzalez will hit the free kick.
Especially for a rookie as well to come in and crack the lineup this early in the season.
Gonzalez
Goal kick.
deflected off a kicker.
Yeah, didn't catch that as well as he would have wanted to there, but well within his range.
Cavaluzo will restart. Rundall and Shinovsky in pursuit. And Travis Wara starts it the other way. On Coney. Wise's touch denied by Williams. Now Osei-Wusu. Yearwood looking for Schreiber. Kelly giving chase with Romeo. Had to play it back to Cavaluzo.
Offside.
And Richmond was offside. 28th minute, tied at 1. Romeo. Headed clear by Williams. Yates came down with the Wyja header. Robert Boskovic, 19-year-old. Half of the Toronto FC roster under the age of 20.
He's
Johnson.
the experienced center back out of the two.
And one of two players who started every game this season. Part of Toronto's FC issues, especially up front, lack of lineup continuity. Antoni denied by Imura.
This is what Richmond want to see. Shriver on the ball.
With space, and that's blocked by Romeo.
Tried it similar to Louisville last weekend there. But that's what Richmond want. They want to see They want to see Brian and Raul getting the ball in space and driving at that back four. That's when they're at their most dangerous.
Approaching the half-hour mark. Tied at 1.
Good block by the defender there.
Johnson tumbles under the Umar challenge. Free kick, Toronto FC 2.
Yeah, silly foul from Oscar there. No need to do that. At the halfway line with Toronto facing their own goal.
Daniels playing wide for Anconi. Now Bjornathan.
It's a good opportunity
here. Here comes Osewusu off Kelly.
A little bit of a lack of familiarity maybe with Dane Kelly there, just playing his first game of the season. Not quite sure of his runs, the timing of his runs, so hopefully they pick that up over the course of the game and can get the timing together.
Troyer up for that header. Winds up a Toronto throw. Daniels probing for Johnson. Looking back post for Hundal. Murrah gets in there.
Good play from Toronto there. You can tell they have some quality young players. That was a great cross, great head back there. Just nobody on the end of it. It'll be dangerous if they get the ball there in the final third.
Oscar Umar has to play it back for Troyer. Hear exclusive stories directly from the USL's players at USLsoccer.com's From the Pitch, with written and video content that provides unfiltered access and a first-person look into the professional game and players' everyday lives. Troyer. Umar back for Shinoski. Murrah, another giveaway there, Wyja. A little too far for Hundal.
Yeah, that's what Toronto's feeding on there. You know, they don't have a lot of possession, so whenever they get those turnovers in the kicker's half, that's when they get the green light to go, and they go at speed.
32nd minute, we are tied. Both goals came early. Toronto, Aiden Daniels first of the year in the 9th minute. 90 seconds later, it was Uday Amura's second of the season to level the match for Richmond. Now here's Osewusu looking for Shriver. Shriver finds space. He'll have a go.
Just wide. Go.
That's Brian's go-to there. Get the ball wide, cut inside to his right foot, and get that shot off.
Shriver very nearly had his third.
Good patience just to not rush that shot, wait for the right opening, and a good strike again. It was very unfortunate not to put that in the top corner.
Now Yates for Toronto. Wyja broken up by Yearwood. Shinoski. Braden Troyer. Umar back for Shinoski. Williams with some room. His probing ball handled by Bjornathan.
Said it a couple of times already. Those centre backs just have to be patient, have to keep finding those centre midfielders. That crossfield ball's that's a low percentage pass there.
Anconi back for Romeo. Looking for Yates. Umar's header finds Troyer. Now Shinoski All the way back to Travis Wara. Again, Toronto sinks back, and Williams has some room. Shinoski.
That's good play from Connor. I'd like to see that the center backs step in with the ball a little bit.
Shriver for Yearwood.
It's a great
He
ball.
probes the back post, and Osei Wusu unable to get on the end of it.
Fantastic cross from Yearwood there. Right between the back four and the goalkeeper.
Goal kick.
First time the Kickers have faced an opponent that really doesn't throw a lot of high pressure.
Yeah, again, great ball by Austin there. Just slightly mistimed by Christopher. I'm sure he'd love that back again.
Gavaluzzo restarts. Umar went down hard but found Gonzalez. Now Shriver. Tane Kelly. Broken up by Johnson. Looking for Hundal, and Williams had to get back and do some work. Now Braden Troyer. Umar for Imura. Gonzalez. Williams as again Toronto sinks back. Umar. Nice touch from Imura for Troyer. He serves in. That's broken up by Boskovic, but we'll have the first quarter of the match.
Nice little dummy by Udai there to get the ball to Braden. Braden just tried to whip it across the face of goal with some pace. Again, numbers in the box there, but just couldn't quite get there before the TFC defender.
And Yearwood will take the restart here. Played his college soccer at High Point.
It's a dangerous corner into a good area there. Not sure if there was maybe a miscommunication on a run, but I'm sure Lee would like to have somebody at the back post there.
In the end, a goal kick. The USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates, and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow us at USL on Twitter. Wijah for Johnson. Johnson and Yearwood. Now Wijah. Okello. Troyer there for the header. A Toronto throw forthcoming.
Johnson's looked dangerous on the right-hand side every time he's got the opportunity to run at Austin.
Wijah. Okello's ball headed clear. Now Yearwood. Williams, a little bit of high pressure from Toronto finally. Imura
Good run by Udai there.
out muscling Wijah. Umar.
Well played by Oscar there to keep the ball moving.
Troyer pushes up. That's comfortably gathered in by Cavaluzzo. 38th minute. Richmond and Toronto have been tied since the 11th. Coney. Wijah. Hundal got on the end of that. Johnson. Little 1-2 looking for Johnson. But the Yates pass winds up a Richmond goal kick.
Goal kick.
Yeah, Johnson's been a handful. He's got bags of pace there. Just a little unfortunate not to get on the end of that ball.
He was 16 when he first stepped on the field for a USL game.
Great ball there by Brian.
Kelly got a piece. Boskovic standing his ground. And Bjornathan clears. Yates. Decent ball for Wyja. Johnson unable to corral that one. Monconi ran over Imura as he
Free kick for Richmond.
reacts with umbrage at the call.
I don't think that's a situation Udai wants to find himself in a foot race like that too often.
6 foot tall, 6'2" on Coney, rampaging up the field. Now Troyer. Gonzalez broken up by Daniels. Gonzalez recovers. He wins the throw as he squirted it off Noble Okello. Bjornathan. Sean Hundahl tumbled in pursuit of that ball.
I think he called a foul on Dane Kelly.
Hey, that came much further down the pitch than the run by Hundahl. Wyja. Coney back for Rocco Romeo, a little unsteady with the back pass, but Cavaluso restores order. And Romeo a much better ball.
Very comfortable in possession, the back four of Toronto. Did well to get out of that. Kickers had some good pressure in there.
Coney roaming up the pitch again. Now Johnson. And again he finds space. Wara able to gather it in, and Johnson went down right at the edge of the box.
Definitely a danger man for TFC so far in this half. Created the first goal, he's looked dangerous every time he's had the ball. Maybe the ref didn't think he was going to get on the other end of it, but there was definitely some contact there.
Stepped on a bit by Shinovsky, and Hayden Daniels, the Toronto captain, offering a helpful officiating pointer. .42 minute. This has been dangerous territory for Richmond at home this season. Giving up a couple of late first half goals. Williams, Shriver, Imura, battling with Onconi. Williams will try again. Shinovsky lays it off for Umar, found Gonzalez. Now Troyer. Troyer battling with Bjornathan, and it is a Richmond corner.
Good overlapping run from Braden there.
Second quarter of the match. As he
Nice little combination from Braden and Raul out there. Great overlapping run.
And Yearwood will switch sides to take this corner. service. Gonzalez got ahead to it, but
Exact same spot as last time.
Goal kick.
Good whipped in ball. I think Raul's just a little off balance there.
Gonzalez a strong challenge there, but it winds up a Toronto throw. Nordathan will take it. Seattle University product. Broken up by Umar, and then Jose Wusu goes down with Okello and wins a free kick. Umar will take it. Shriver. Imura. Shriver. Stood up by Romeo. And now Johnson barreling forward again. Off Williams, and more fortunate, no other white jerseys in the neighborhood. .4.5 minutes in. Each team scoring early. We are deadlocked at 1. Williams. Shinoski. Found Shriver. Now Yearwood.
There's your whistle.
And there will be no
to
stoppage
end
time.
our first half of play.
We have
As
reached
we go to the
halftime at
locker
City
room,
Stadium.
tied at 1.
Richmond Kickers and Toronto FC2 are deadlocked at 1. Daniels scoring in the 9th minute, but Lee Cowlishaw saw his squad respond quickly through Udai Imura, whose blast from about 25 pulled the Kickers back level. Halftime activity coming up next on ESPN+.
Don't miss out. It's the final days of Nissan Now. Hurry in for big savings on Rogue with ProPilot Assist that helps keep you centered in your lane. The technology of tomorrow, available today. This is your last chance to save on America's best-selling SUV and our entire lineup. It's time for an upgrade. Hurry in to Nissan Now. Exclusive offers and this event end April 2nd. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models or save up to $10,500 on select models.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach time.
She works as a meteorologist at CBS 6, but Nikki D. Ray does all kinds of jobs. Roll call.
I'm Nikki D, the construction worker. I'm Nikki D, the insurance agent. I'm Nikki D, the doctor. I'm Nikki D, the fast food cook. I'm Nikki D, the referee. I'm Nikki D, the teacher. I'm Nikki D, the beekeeper. I'm Nikki D, the race car driver.
Nikki D, Can You Be Me? On CBS 6 this morning.
The hardest position to come in at.
And we are back at City Stadium in Richmond. John Emmett along with Ross McKenzie at halftime. The Richmond Kickers and Toronto FC2 are deadlocked at 1. Kickers had the vast majority of the possession in the opening 45 minutes. But against the run of play, Toronto took advantage of a sloppy Richmond turnover, and Aiden Daniels scored his first goal of the season, ending a run of more than 300 scoreless minutes for Toronto FC. Johnson played the ball in. Hundal got a touch in traffic, and Daniels buried it. And Toronto grabbing their first lead of the season with their second goal of the campaign. But the Kickers responded quickly. Dane Kelly found Uday Amura, and he banged in his second of the year less than 90 seconds later.
Great response from the Kickers after conceding a bit of a sloppy goal. It was a great strike from Uday. Just curled it right in the top corner.
Amura's career 16th, and Brian Shriver some opportunity.
Yep, that's Brian's kind of patented go-to move. He's cutting into his side from the left and getting onto his right foot and getting that shot off. He had a couple in the first half. One was blocked. That one was pretty close. Again, that was probably the best chance in the first half, including the goals.
Brilliant ball in from Yearwood that just missed getting on the end of Kobe Usewusu, as Dane Kelly making his Kickers debut. Oscar Umar back from injury, and the Kickers with a back four of guys actually playing the positions that they were signed to play.
Yeah, not had a ton of work, but mostly in possession of the ball. I'd like to see Connor and McKell maybe dribble up and step into the midfield a little bit just to force Toronto to come out of their shell rather than just passing it sideways. You know, if they can take a couple touches into the midfield and force one of those centre mids to come out, then that's when we can get Uday and Oscar on the ball a little more.
Meanwhile, Toronto, the most stable part of their club, the back four, Bjornathan, Boskovic, Romeo, and Onconi, they were challenged regularly and managed to, for the most part, hold their ground. And Malik Johnson, the 20-year-old academy product who has already played now 4 seasons of USL soccer with a really dynamic opening 45.
Yeah, you can see all throughout that Toronto roster there's a lot of young guys coming through from the academy, and you know, I think if Toronto, I think they'd be quite happy if they got 3 or 4 of those guys into the Toronto first team rather than have a Toronto team, TFC2 team that's challenging for playoff positions. I think this is definitely more of a player development thing for them, trying to get as many of those kids as much minutes as possible. You look at the 2 centre backs, young guys. I was very impressed with Romeo for being 17, 18 in the first half. I thought he did really well against an experienced player like Dane Kelly, who's scored a lot of goals and played for a lot of years at this level. So definitely some talented players on that roster.
Kickers looking for their second win of the season here tonight. Toronto trying to get into the win column for the first time on a night when their first team is playing one of its most important matches in club history, the second leg of the CONCACAF final. And that leg has actually impacted the lineup that Toronto FC was able to field tonight. But right now we are deadlocked at 1 at halftime.
It's the final days of Nissan Now. Hurry in for big savings on Rogue with ProPilot Assist that helps keep you centered in your lane. The technology of tomorrow, available today. This is your last chance to save on America's best-selling SUV and our entire lineup. It's time for an upgrade. Hurry in to Nissan Now. Exclusive offers and this event end April 2nd. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models or save up to $10,500 on select models.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Welcome to the Breakdown once again. Thank you to everyone on social media that's given me positive comments, and I really appreciate the support. Here's episode 5, week 6 of the Breakdown.
Played into the penalty area, some good give and go here. There's a shot, and they've opened the scoring.
This team goal by North Carolina is fantastic. If you notice that there's always players on the move, they're always giving the attacking player who's got the ball an option to move. For Rios there, he has 2 or 3 options at the time when he received the ball, and he just found himself in extremely good space. But again, it's just the constant movement of the team, and it makes it very difficult for the defenders to track runners. Once again, it's a fantastic first-time finish, especially on turf, into the top corner.
Oh, bad back pass. Arboleda picks it up, takes the shot, and puts it in the back of the net.
Arboleta's goal starts with his positioning. If you notice, he gives himself an opportunity to close down the centre-back, and he reads the pass extremely well and uses his pace to get there. And then obviously, once he's used his pace, he has to slow himself down. And you see from the finish that there's nothing the keeper could do about that. The celebration is not so much in for Player of the Week, but the finish definitely is.
For Escalante. Goes well to pick this up. Goes through the legs of Navarro. Sends the service. Had it.
Escalante's skill here has 2 or 3 different stages. The first stage is when he receives the ball, and it's not the greatest ball to him, but he makes the most out of it. And when he turns, the defender, he's expecting the defender to tackle him. When the defender doesn't make a move, then that's his opportunity to create the skill. And the composure as well. Once he's made the skill, not to get carried away, but to have the composure to cross it. And it's a fantastic cross, and I think he's expecting more from his striker there.
Iwasa, Bijev cuts, plays it across, oh, it's in!
When Hall receives the ball here, it's not the easiest ball to deal with. He uses it to his advantage, and it draws 2 defenders out. And once he's drew the 2 defenders out, it then creates more space for Bijev. And when he receives the ball, I think the defender's expecting him to go on his right foot, but he does a fantastic skill. And at a tight angle there, it's a fantastic finish. The composure to relax himself, but to slot it through the keeper is fantastic. And it makes it very difficult for the keeper to get down low when he shoots it at his legs. I hope you've all enjoyed episode 5, week 6 of the Breakdown. I look forward to seeing you next week.
She works as a meteorologist at CBS 6, but Nikki D. Ray does all kinds of jobs. Roll call.
I'm Nikki D, the construction worker. I'm Nikki D, the insurance agent. I'm Nikki D, the doctor. I'm Nikki D, the fast food cook. I'm Nikki D, the referee. I'm Nikki D, the teacher. I'm Nikki D, the beekeeper. I'm Nikki D, the race car driver.
Nikki D, Can You Be Me? On CBS 6 this morning.
Here we are back at City Stadium. It's USL Soccer tonight. Richmond Kickers against Toronto FC 2. John Emmett with Ross McKenzie. Deadlocked in 1 after 45 minutes, and it appears that Lee Cowlishaw, whose team played a pretty attacking 45, may go even more attacking in the second half, with Aviel Cordovez dressed in his game stuff and getting loose right now. Yeah,
another body up front. They could probably just, by the way TFC have lined up, you could probably sacrifice one of those 4 defenders for an extra body up top. And again, another experienced USL player.
And a guy who played with Dane Kelly at Charleston. I was asking Lee earlier this year what the interplay might be like, and he said those guys meshed really well together as members of the battery. It wouldn't be a question of not having enough balls for them. They could play together, and so maybe you see Cordovez replacing maybe Ose Wusu.
Could be, yeah. They could maybe go to more of a 4-4-2 for the extra body up there. That would make a little bit of sense. I mean, again, we talked about it a couple times in the first half. It's all about patience. They're going to have a lot of the ball. It's just taking care of it. I think they could probably play a little quicker. And again, look to get your dangerous players, your Udais, your Bryans, your Raouls on the ball a little sooner, so we can, we saw when Brian was getting the ball and cutting inside at speed, that was causing problems.
Kickers had 63% of the possession in the opening 45, and it actually seemed like it might have been a little more than that. Shots were 8-3 in favor of the Kickers, but only one of those 8 got on frame.
Yeah, again, it's a couple of close ones from Brian, one that was blocked, but kind of speaks to the quality of chances they're creating there. Just, again, if they pick that pace up, that speed of play up a little bit, I'm sure they'll get some better chances in the second half and for Toronto. You know, for those centre midfield players, it gets a little old not getting the ball a lot and having to chase a lot. So kickers are patient and move the ball quickly. At some point, Toronto will make a mistake in their shape and in their pressure, and hopefully we can get something on the end of it.
Kickers had both the first half corners. Travis Waro was actually the more tested of the goalkeepers. He had to make one really strong save in the opening 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was a good strike. It was pretty close to him, but again, had to show some strong hands to keep it out and also away from goal.
The officials have returned back to the field. Danny Muscovy, the Reno 1868 forward, the USL Player of the Week for last week. 2 goals in the final 15 minutes as 1868 picked up their first win of the year, 2-1 over Portland Timbers, the team that was dominated by players in the Western Conference. But Joe Cole from Tampa Bay, he'll be here May 12th with the Rowdies. In stark contrast to Toronto FC, the Rowdies very much a veteran group.
Yeah, he's a veteran player. He was a top player back in the day. He's still very good now, but probably one of the most famous players in the USL at the moment. Had a great career in England.
Ken Tribbett from Penn FC, the former Harrisburg City Islanders, also a member of the USL First 11 for the week. As he played a strong game on the back line and also scored a late goal that allowed Penn FC to level their match with the Charleston Battery. Just one other game in the USL tonight, and that one is a Western Conference affair. So the two teams back for the final 45. Kickers are in the red. Sinoski, Troyer, Williams, Yearwood remaining the back line with Murrah and Umar in the holding midfield roles. Gonzalez up on a wing. And Gentile is the sub coming on. And he replaces Kelly with Schreiber and Osewusu.
Yeah, I saw Dane Kelly as he came off at halftime. It looked like he maybe took a knock late in the first half. So that's definitely disappointing for kickers, but I'm sure Giuseppe Gentile will be looking to make an impact here in the second half.
Gentile is on for Dane Kelly as the second half is underway. Gentile's been banged up for a couple of weeks after he had some late run off the bench against Bethlehem Steel and Indy 11. That's the only halftime change. Toronto is still Bjornathan, Boskovic, Romeo, and Onconi across the back line. And Okello, Johnson, Yates in the midfield, Daniels, Hundahl, and Weja up front. Game tied at 1 as the final 45 underway. Boskovic in possession. Yates. Bjornathan. Okello. That was nearly a giveaway. And
good pressure there from Richmond. Just a little fortunate for Toronto to get out of that one.
Strong tackle at the last moment there from Romeo as Johnson's ball finds Yates off a deflection. Now Okello. Daniels. Yates for Daniels. Bjornathan pressing up, and he offers service, but that's a goal kick.
Goal kick.
So Giuseppe Gentile came over from Puerto Rico Football Club, playing in the North American Soccer League last season. Weja. Okello. Romeo for Boskovic. Yearwood comes up with that. Looking for Shriver.
Great first touch by Shriver there.
Broken up by Boskovic. Coney found Waja. Now Shinosky.
This is where I'd like to see him step forward with the ball a little more. Move those Toronto FC midfielders around a little bit, create some space for Udai and Oscar.
Gentile getting a touch. Umar.
Toronto will be very happy if everything's just in front of them like this.
Braden Troyer. Imura looking for Gonzalez. Bjornathan, but only as far as Umar, only as far as Imura. Troyer. Shinosky for Umar. Williams to Umar. Knocked down by Romeo, and Boskovic clears, but only as far as midfield. Okello. Johnson. Waja. Johnson for Hundal. Wara forced to clear.
You can see Toronto have some talented attacking players. They just haven't been given many opportunities, haven't had the ball enough to really hurt Richmond. But again, Johnson, dangerous every time he gets it.
Bjornathan. Daniels, nice little touch for Bjornathan on the overlap. His service denied by Troyer, but that's the first corner of the match for Toronto.
Great recovery by Braden there to get back and knock that out for a corner. That was a really dangerous situation for Toronto. Really well timed.
Daniels takes the corner. Headed clear by Shinosky for Shriver. And Yearwood bangs it out of danger. Angelo Cavaluzzo, who has started now 4 of 5 games in net for Toronto, out to play it, while Lee Cowlishaw offers some helpful officiating hints to the 4th official. Never quite understood yelling at that guy.
He's the closest to the bench, so he gets the most of the abuse.
That was knocked down by Romeo. Okello. Daniels.
Again, really good defending by Braden there. Really good position. No foul there at all. Just good use of his body by Braden.
Wondering if Daniels was trying to lean in and draw one.
Yeah, yeah.
And I thought he might have taken an inadvertent arm in the face.
I think it was his shoulder. Maybe right elbow there. No foul there, just
7 o'clock kickoff. Old NASL franchise.
Inadvertent, I think, the contact there.
Returns home Saturday, May the 12th at 7 o'clock to host.
The referee, Mr. De Oliveira, certainly saw it your way, and it kickers restart. Williams. Early second half tied at 1. Oscar Umar. Connor Shinosky. Probing for Gonzalez to Troyer. Looking back post, but Schreiber unable to get there.
Goal kick.
I'd like to see maybe Giuseppe, instead of checking to that ball, getting himself in the box. It was not a bad cross from Braden, just Brian Shriver was the only player in the box looking to get on the end of that.
And now kickers high pressure. causing Toronto an anxious second. Shinoski steps in there. Nice touch from Imura. Shriver broken up by Johnson. Weiser back for Johnson. He was cut off by Yearwood. Toronto throw. Johnson and Yearwood battle. Williams. Trinidad and Tobago International. Finding Shinoski. Probes forward for Troyer. He serves it in, but that's picked off by Weiser.
I was thinking those scenarios, your best bet is just to get the ball across the goal, pace into an area rather than try to pick somebody up. Let your forwards and your wide players get in the end of something.
Daniels rolls it back. Bjornathan for Weiser. Now Moskovic. Cavaluzo looking for Daniels. He got ahead to that. But Shinoski right there. Gonzalez, nice touch for Imura.
Much better.
And Gentile finds Gonzalez. He serves it in. Then Brian Schreiber. Richmond leads 2-1.
Could be an own goal, maybe. Again, exactly what I just said earlier. Raul didn't try to pick anyone out, just put the ball across a pace into a dangerous area. Good things happen when you do that.
Schreiber got a piece. Wonder if Gentile was the last to touch.
Yeah, own goal.
That is an own goal. Schreiber was in the neighborhood. That actually went in off the defender.
When you put the ball across the goal at pace, those defenders have their face their own goal. You know, there's not a whole lot he could have done about that one, but great ball by Raul. Good touch from Giuseppe in the first place. Much better from Richmond.
Well, they've announced Gentile, which would be his first as a kicker.
He'll take that goal bonus.
They don't have one of those boards like they have in England where they go over the goals at the end of the week every year.
I'm sure the defender will be quite happy to not take the own goal, and Giuseppe will be quite happy to take the goal, so I doubt there's any complaints.
An excellent ball in from Gonzalez. Yeah, the kickers have their first lead. Comes in the 55th minute. And now it is Richmond 2, Toronto 1.
Ooh.
And Troyer was scrapping with Bjornathan, who had the boot up in the face. And it's a Richmond free kick.
Nothing deliberate there, but definitely dangerous. This is a great area for a free kick from Richmond. You see Connor and McKell getting forward here, so they got some big bodies in there.
Murrah has scored from the set piece earlier this season, actually on a PK.
It's a sore one. Luckily, Braden's got a pretty hard head.
Murrah, a couple of options here. He'll play back post. Williams heads it in, but
great header back across goal from Williams there.
Coney able to head it out. Gentile back for Troyer. He probes for Osei Wusu, who comes down with a mistimed header. Schreiber digs it loose. Gonzalez for Gentile.
Good chance for Giuseppe there. It was a really good little ball in from Raul, and it looked from our angle maybe just snatched at it a little bit.
The halftime sub credited with one goal already and nearly had a second.
Yeah, just tried to drill it low and hard with his laces across the goalkeeper. It looked like he just snatched at it and pulled it wide. But again, that's a goal and a couple of early chances here, so better stuff from Richmond to start the second half.
Kickers out in front 2-1 as we approach the hour mark. Shinoski. Gonna get a Toronto sub here momentarily. Hakeem Andrews will be entering the match. It'll be Toronto's first sub as Yearwood battling with Onconi. And Toronto gets the throw. And that will be all for Sean Hundal.
Quiet one for our danger man before the game. Apart from that assist he had in the first half.
So Hakeem Andrews is a native of Trinidad and Tobago and has had some time in the national program. Began his career with W Connection, which you follow CONCACAF Champions League, you see them pop up time to time. And Gentile went buccaneering forward, but Richmond offside. So in the 59th minute, Andrews on for Hundal as the Toronto bench looks a bit hangdog right now. Daniels trying to get Andrews involved right away. Now Daniels for Yates. Wide for Johnson, who hasn't had a chance to get involved much here in the second half. Now Johnson's involved, and Wara just got enough.
He's given Austin Yearwood a tough night over there. Very direct. Wants to just get the ball and go at speed at the defender. It's always a defender's nightmare, that, and he did really well there. Got on his left foot. A good strike, good save from Travis.
Moore's had a couple of strong saves. And Toronto has their second quarter. Daniels serves it in, and that was headed out by Andrews, who was trying to match Gentile for bench impact.
That was a really good corner, a really good chance for Toronto there. I think Andrews will be a little disappointed he didn't get that on target.
Just past the hour mark, Richmond 2, Toronto FC 1. Osewusu.
Again, he's playing as a number 10. I don't think that's where Lee wants his number 10 getting the ball. I'd like to see, again, the centre back should be stepping out here a little more, putting some more pressure on the Toronto midfielders. Great ball by Braden.
Troyer looking for Gonzalez. He serves it in, but Cavazulo right there. Troyer starting to have some impact here in the second half. On Coney. Williams back for Shinoski. Red Army enjoying the home side advantage at the moment. Troyer again trying to cause trouble on the right. His service across was headed clear by Onconi. And Waja able to clear it out of harm's way. Want to get exclusive video content and photography from across the USL? Make sure to follow the league's official Instagram account at USL Soccer. Shinoski for Williams.
Looks like a little bit of a shape change for Toronto in the second half. We're going to more of a 4-2-3-1 out of that 4-5-1 that they were sitting in the first half. That's what they want, though, Toronto. They want turnovers there so they can go.
Daniels picked off the Shriver pass.
Good pressure, they'd win it back.
And Troyer gets it right back for the kickers. Now Gentile. Yearwood. Troyer looking for Imura, and Romeo forced to roll it back for Cavaluso.
Here comes the rain.
And out of nowhere, a rain shower bursts here at City Stadium. There's Johnson looking for Andrews, but Williams in the way, and Yearwood clears. Only as far as Oconee. Johnson again. Off Yearwood for a Toronto throw.
Fans, it's almost last call for adult beverages. I know it's starting to rain, so you can take cover. All sales will stop after the 70th minute. All beer sales
Rain
will
starting
stop
to really
after
come
the
down
70th
now
minute.
as
Last
Elijah
call
gets into some
for adult
space.
beverages.
I think the last call for alcohol, coupled with the rain, might see a few of the old home fans leaving a little early tonight.
Daniels tumbled under the challenge. Gonzalez trying to start the counter. Jose Wusu finds Schreiber. Lays it off for Gentile. That was broken up by Romeo, and Okello turns it the other way. Umar back for Shadowski. Gonzalez. Now Imura. Wager got a piece of that as Gonzalez still down. Now Gonzalez trying to recover as Daniels dropped it back for Okello. Boskovic. Yates for Oconee. Rain slacking after that burst, but still coming down. As nice job by Bjornathan to keep that ball in play. And headed forward by Okello for Andrews. Broken up by Umar. Umar's pass clipped away by Daniels. And we'll get our second Toronto sub of the match.
Substitution for Toronto. Coming on, number 32,
Kunle Dadaluke
32
is
Kunle
in for Toronto. And
He's
Noble
on for
Okello
Toronto,
will
replacing
leave.
number 59, Noble
In the 66th minute.
Okello off.
Another teenager for a teenager.
Yep. Dadaluke was in the starting 11 against NCFC last
on
week.
for Toronto.
Oconee trying to get Dadaluke involved right away. Yearwood right there with another idea, and Richmond offside.
Offside.
Daniels back for Boskovic. 2-1 kickers. Early second half goal giving Richmond their first lead. Toronto struck first in the 9th minute foul as Imura was battling there with Johnson. Toronto free kick. Imura leveled the match less than 90 seconds later. Stayed tied until early in the second half when Gentile somewhat controversially.
Can you see that ball? Yeah, he did. Great ball.
Oh, here comes Gonzalez all by himself. Gonzalez! And Cavaluso stands his ground.
That was a great ball by Brian Shriver. Good run by Raul. Just couldn't squeeze it past the goalkeeper.
And still it is 2-1. Dada Luke getting a touch. Back for Onkani. Yates. Andrews. Yearwood racing with Dada Luke. Yearwood wins the race. Morris clear finds Umar, who clashes with Onkani, and it winds up a Toronto throw. Kickers enjoying a 2-1 middle of the second half lead. Onkani again to throw it in. Headed away by Umar. And Romeo plays it back for Bjornathan. Yates. Boskovic. Yates for Daniels, broken up by Amura. Chased down by Andrews. So Toronto 1 sub left. Richmond has 2. Their only change. Gentile replacing Kelly at halftime.
Looks like everyone's out warming up for Richmond.
Braden Troyer. Looking for Imura. Cavaluzo there to thwart that attack. Andrews decent touch. For Dada Luke as the rain starts to pick up a little bit. Now Romeo racing with Gentile.
He's done really well tonight, Romeo. For such a young guy. Playing against some experienced USL pros, he's done really well.
Romeo just 17. He's a native of Richmond Hill, Ontario. And a Toronto FC Academy product. You can't teach 6'4".
You cannot.
There's a free kick for Richmond.
It'll be a free kick for Richmond.
Little tug of the jersey there.
'71st minute, 2-1 kickers. Looking for Gonzalez. He was shielded by Bjornathan. Romeo's ball headed back by. Now here comes Shriver. Shriver battling with Romeo. Looking for Imura. Bjornathan got a piece of that. Now Daniels.
Here's where they're dangerous.
Countering for Toronto, looking for Andrews. One of the 2 subs. Andrews battling with Williams.
Good
and Toronto gets a corner.
Really good defending.
For Toronto.
Kill.
It is Toronto's 3rd corner of the game. Daniels took 2 from the left side. Now he'll take 1 from the right. Right in front of the Red Army. Some of those Toronto guys they're young enough, they might learn some new words. And Laura knocked it away from Onkani.
A couple of those Red Army guys have got kickers t-shirts older than the Toronto FC players.
Umar for Gentile. Daniels hustling back to head it away. Well, that's going to wind up a corner as it
Corner kick
squirted off Romeo. And Cavaluzo was unable to keep it in play. Imura will take the corner here. 73rd minute. Osewusu giving chase, but that's out for a Toronto throw.
Unlike Udai, he normally has some good quality on set pieces there.
Rain has stopped. We've pretty much had 3 seasons tonight.
That we have. It was hot, it was cold, it was rainy, it was dry.
Johnson draws a foul there. Daniels, who scored the Toronto goal. Andrews off Johnson. Mikael Williams rolls it back for Wara. Gonzalez gets ahead to that, but the kicker's offside.
Offside.
Kicker's back here May 12th, but for Toronto FC, it's been a rugged stretch, and they will play at home Saturday. They'll jump on the bus, roll back to Toronto, and they face New York Red Bulls 2 Saturday in Toronto. Yates.
It's been a tough stretch, but again, you look at the age of some of these kids getting some valuable experience and minutes against, you know, seasoned USL professionals, so I'm sure they'll have no problem hopping back on the bus for another game.
Kickers again looking for Gentile, now Imura. That winds up
Could be worse things.
once again a corner.
Could be worse things for 17 and 18-year-olds to be doing than heading back on a bus for another game.
Fair point. They've also been busy because the first 11 has had a crowded run of fixtures due to the CONCACAF Champions League. Of the 33 listed on the TFC2 roster, 7 have seen game action with the first team. That squirted off Williams, chased down by Umar, and then broken up by Daniels. A Richmond throw. TFC 1 will get underway just about when this one ends down in Guadalajara with a sizable task in the CONCACAF Champions League second leg final. Williams. Schreiber got ahead to that, but it's gathered in by Cavaluzo. TFC2 actually had their home opener twice postponed, due in part to CONCACAF Champions League, and they had one home game wind up played in Pittsburgh. Andrews. And Yearwood able to effectively shield him, and it's a Richmond goal kick. Still almost a quarter of an hour remaining and work to do for the Kickers. Visit the USL Instagram story every Monday evening to watch Kelsey Steele's hat trick as she breaks down 3 key talking points from the previous week's action. Weiser's had a fairly quiet second half. Gets a touch there, picked off by Osewusu. Umar turns it ahead for Gentile, but Romeo right there.
Tough decision for Lee now whether to stick with what he's got out here in the field just now or make some changes.
Still has 2 subs remaining, and he's used all 3 subs in each previous Kickers game this season. Boskovic. Bjornathan. Andrews. Coney. Yates. One of the more extended periods of Toronto possession. And
Great
a good turn from Johnson. And he's fouled from behind by Osewusu. And we'll get our first card of the night. Osewusu goes into the book in the 78th minute.
Great turn by Johnson. Again, easy yellow card there for the referee.
And Toronto's going to use their final sub here.
Osewusu picks up the yellow card for Richmond. Caution to Richmond's number 24. Osewusu.
Luca Petrasso.
Coming up for Toronto.
Going to get some run here.
For Toronto FC, number 39, Luca Petrasso.
And he replaces Bjornathan. So Petrasso, a 17-year-old from Toronto, making his USL debut here. Meanwhile, Daniels standing over the ball.
Came off for Toronto. Petrasso in, Bjornathan out for Toronto.
Daniels' service in is comfortable for Wara. And the Red Army enjoying it.
A couple of words exchanged there after that collision. Got the Red Army fired up. Doesn't take much.
Boskovic didn't appreciate the contact. Red Army did. Less than 11 minutes from time. Kickers 2, Toronto 1. Kickers trying to see this out. And that would be 2 wins and a tie in their last 3 at home. Wara found Gentile there. He battles with Onkani, and that will produce another card for Gentile. As Onkani wound up drawing the foul in a spirited battle.
A little bit of frustration there from Giuseppe, I think.
So the second caution of the match.
Caution to Gentile of Richmond. Yellow card to number 19.
Pretty handsy both ways.
Yeah.
Gentile of the Kickers.
That second yellow of the match for a kicker. In the final 10 minutes of regular time. Of course, the Kickers were about 90 seconds of stoppage time away from getting a point at Louisville a week and a half ago as Johnson went down, no whistle, and Umar controls. Looking for Shriver.
Good ball from Oscar.
Shriver headed down by Petrasso. And he gets his first run of possession for Johnson. And Troyer, solid tackle. And it appears that Lee Collishaw will stay with 10 of his 11 starters. Wajer's ball headed away by Yearwood. Third minute, 2-1 Kickers. Early second half goal that appeared to be an own goal. The margin of difference right here is Williams able to shield Andrews away from the ball. That turns into a goal kick. Red Army hanging tough despite the earlier A burst of rain. Lee Cowlishaw anxiously watching the clock tick right now. Romeo up for that header. Williams sails it back. Romeo again. Osewusu. Umar looking for Gentile. And now well off his line, Cavalluzzo wins the race. Boskovic. Andrews. Troyer there to kind of shield that one for Wara. Williams ball picked off by Waja. Johnson didn't have a shot there. Kickers home again May 12th. They will next face Bethlehem Steel for a second time on the road a week from Sunday. Yates kept it in play, but only as far as Umar. And he banged it off that out Luke, who comes away with possession and wins a corner. Coon Lane Dada Luke, 18 years old, out of Toronto.
Did well there, good energy to get his team fight for a loose ball and get his team a corner here.
Petrasso will take the corner. Toronto has used all three of their substitutions. Petrasso's service flipped by Gonzalez. Chased down by Daniels. Cavalluzzo way off his line. Headed forward by Umar. Onconi went up. Imura gets a piece. Onconi again. But
great ball by Udai.
Boy,
good ball by Giuseppe again.
Gentile, and now Shriver roaming on the right. He sends it across, but Romeo there. Boskovic.
Giuseppe changed his run and went to the back post at the last second there.
Luca Petrasso. Johnson. Headed away by Yearwood. Less than 4 remaining in the 90. Kickers will make a change here.
Substitution for Richmond coming on.
And they're
for the kickers,
finally going to get
will be number 16.
Cordovez coming in. We thought he was coming in at halftime.
For number 14.
Which teams
like
are?
He was.
Yeah, it sure was. Had the game jersey on for a while. Which teams are hitting peak performance in the USL? Find out every Monday afternoon when USLsoccer.com power rankings are released to see where your team sits with its most recent results.
Good performance from Udai today. Great goal. It's involved a lot of the good parts of play from Richmond today.
So Cordovez comes in, normally kind of a central striker. How does Lee shape him?
I think he's going to put Cordova as a central striker, maybe have Giuseppe drop a little deeper into maybe a number 10 role.
Waja from distance. And that winds up grabbing a table in the kicker's bar.
Yeah, it looks like Giuseppe will slot in as a number 10, and then we'll have Oscar and Osewusu as holding center mids.
Well, the ball just got tossed out of the bar. Apparently it didn't know how to conduct itself. I was going to say, buy it a drink. See any beverages go flying there. That's a pretty good job by those folks.
Last call was 20 minutes ago. I'm sure they finished them up.
Good point by you. Daniels finds Petrasso. Kickers still have work to do. Toronto trying to come away with a point on the road and earn a draw for a second straight match. Daniels, Yates, Petrasso, Daniels, Broken up by Troyer. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the 90. Shouldn't have a lot of stoppage time. Dada Luke giving chase with Yearwood. Dada Luke, nice job to keep that in play. But
yeah, he's provided them some good energy in the second half. He's chasing everything, and you know, I think his teammates have to take a chance and expect that he's going to get on the end of that and get in the box for him.
Wara redistributing. Gordon has wound up kind of a hug there with Romeo.
I think Coach Collishaw wanted a free kick there.
Troyer wins the ball for Richmond. Looking for Gentile. He battles with Boskovic. Petrasso finding Waja.
Good play from Toronto to get out of that situation.
Daniels pass. Chased down by Onconi. Trying to find Dada Luke. And play continues despite the midfield collision. Now Schreiber. Gonzalez. Osewusu. Osewusu with service.
Oh.
And that
miscommunication there.
Nearly wound up an own goal as Onconi and Cavalluzzo were
not the best ball.
Ideas.
Yeah, not the best ball by Osewusu. I'd like to see them maybe just keep the ball a little bit there. 30 seconds left. There's no need to play that longer ball. Just keep the ball moving, make Toronto work to get it back. But I guess it turns into a corner, almost a goal. So what do I know?
Let's see how much time the fourth official displays momentarily here. In the meantime, kickers probably take a short corner here and just try to rag time off. Yep, Schreiber plays it out. Umar.
3 minutes of
We'll get 3 minutes of stoppage time here.
Stoppage time.
The kickers trying to see out a 2-1 lead. And in no tearing hurry to take this throw.
Veteran move by Braden there, ignoring the ball boy.
Ball boy said, hey, I got
the
one.
two ball boys.
Yeah, we got balls over here. He walked about 30 yards. Nice job there by Petrasso to win the ball for Toronto. Yates trying to get the counter started. Onconi, much better touch this time. Yates. Andrews. Waja finds Daniels. And Toronto pressing forward. Here's Petrasso. Shinovsky jams that ahead, and despite the Gonzalez whiff, Troyer able to clear, and now Cordovez buccaneering forward. Tackle there from Romeo. We are in stoppage time. Romeo wins that ball.
Gordo's just got to hold that up there.
Yates is Toronto trying to press forward in the dying embers of stoppage time. Andrews denied by Williams.
Richmond substitution.
And the kicker's going to get Luis Fernando on here.
71, Luis Fernando. For number 21, Brian Schreiber. Number 71, Fernando. For number 21, Schreiber.
Well, that was the idea, but the officials did not allow the substitution.
Didn't have his board ready, I don't think.
And by the time they get it ready, we should be done. Late stoppage time. Kickers again will dally some on the throw here. Now we got Schreiber down. Lee Collishaw is trying to hasten the proceedings. And now the board's ready, and it will
finally, here we go. Fernando for Schreiber.
Fernando in for Schreiber.
Good performance again by Brian Schreiber. Always looked dangerous when he got into those 1v1 situations out wide.
The Kickers finally scored a goal that he didn't have a direct piece of. Andrews won that ball. Petrasso gets some space. That was blocked by Shinosky. And now Gonzalez the other way. Cordovez holds up. Fernando going to get a touch here. Luis Fernando trying to introduce himself to the game. No penalty whistle. Out for a Richmond throw. Fernando the nutmeg.
Yep, I would have said that would have been a penalty.
Fernando lays it back for Yearwood, who tumbled under the challenge of Daniels without a whistle. And now foul the other way. And Toronto going to get another chance way into stoppage time. Unfortunately, we don't have the
free kick for Toronto
clock here, but
I'm sure Leo will be frustrated with that. That was probably 2 calls Richmond should have had there, and then Toronto get a soft one that gives them one last chance to get the ball in the box.
So Daniels will take it. Cavaluso up to midfield, but for the moment, no further. Daniels plays to the edge, and it glances off Shinosky as the final whistle sounds, and the Richmond Kickers get the 3 points at home. They defeat Toronto FC 2-1.
Pick up 3 points in the standings. Thank you so much.
A 55th minute goal
and support
awarded to Gentile off a feed in from Gonzalez that appeared to glance in off a defender.
We're your hometown team.
Turns into the margin of difference.
Each and every time we're home at
Good result for Richmond.
The next time will be Saturday, May the 12th.
Kickers now 2-0-1 in their last 3 at home, and we'll recap it next.
Don't miss out. It's the final days of Nissan Now. Hurry in for big savings on Rogue, America's best-selling SUV, and our entire lineup. Event ends April 2nd. Get 0% for up to 72 months on 13 models.
Make time to escape to the coast and enjoy 60 miles of beautiful beaches and let the sound of the ocean's tide take you to your happy place. Now's the perfect time to book your spring getaway to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Besides, you deserve it. Seize your moment now and come, let go, and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Let go and unwind on Myrtle Beach Time.
Don't miss out. It's the final days of Nissan Now. Hurry in for big savings on Rogue, America's best-selling SUV, and our entire lineup. Event ends April 2nd. Get 0% for up to 72 months on 13 models.
She works as a meteorologist at CBS 6, but Nikki D. Ray does all kinds of jobs. Roll call.
I'm Nikki D, the construction worker. I'm Nikki D, the insurance agent. I'm Nikki D, the doctor. I'm Nikki D, the fast food cook. I'm Nikki D, the referee. I'm Nikki D, the teacher. I'm Nikki D, the beekeeper. I'm Nikki D, the race car driver.
Nikki D, Can You Be Me? On CBS 6 this morning.
And we're back at City Stadium. John Emmett along with Ross McKenzie. Richmond Kickers get the 3 points tonight, 2-1 over Toronto FC 2. The Kickers fell behind early in this one. Toronto, though the Kickers had virtually all of the early possession, took advantage of a turnover. And Aiden Daniels scoring his first of the year off the feed from Johnson, who came up with the steal.
I'm still not sure that was an assist for Hundal there, but good finish by Daniels nonetheless.
Less than 90 seconds later, kickers answer. It's Udai Amura from distance, his second of the campaign.
Great bit of quality from Udai there.
Then 10 minutes into the second half, after Giuseppe Gentile came on as a sub, Gonzalez plays the ball in. Fairly certain that came off on Coney, and Shriver was actually the closest to it.
Yeah, I think Shriver was closest, but I'm sure Giuseppe will be looking for that goal bonus.
Go Gentile, still doesn't look like he touched it. Well, if the English goal committee gets a hold of that one, it'll get changed. But as it stands right now, that's his first as a kicker, his 15th as a pro, and it turned out to be the margin of difference. Toronto pressed hard at the end, a young group with a lot of jump, and they created some things off turnovers. It wasn't an entirely comfortable last 5 minutes and then stoppage.
No, definitely not. There's no easy games in this league anymore. So Toronto, very good team, young players, a lot of potential. So anytime you can take 3 points, it's a bonus. So as a team, it was an awesome win.
Ross, appreciate you jumping in tonight.
Happy to do it. It was fun.
And we look forward to working with you again. Our thanks to Mike Boyack and the crew for their production work tonight. Toronto falls to 0-4-1. Kickers now 2-3-1. Kickers have another week and a half off before they'll take another shot at Bethlehem Steel on the road. And then they are back home May 12th against Tampa Bay. You'll be able to see that one on the ESPN+. Meanwhile, Toronto jumps on the bus, and they will play Saturday at home against New York Red Bulls 2. Our final again from City Stadium, Richmond 2, Toronto 1. For Ross McKenzie, I'm John Emmett. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.